What if I told you the deadliest war in American history started with 0 deaths? One cannon. No casualties. Yet that first shot would tear the country apart for 4 long years. It started with one cannon, just one shot. April 12, 1861, Fort Sumter, South Carolina. A quiet harbor at dawn suddenly erupted into thunder. That first cannon blast didn't just hit a fort, it shattered a nation. But to understand that morning, we have to go back, because this war wasn't born overnight. It had been brewing for decades, a divided nation. By the mid-1800s, America was a country split in two. In the North, industry was booming. Factories, railroads, and a growing economy built on free labor. In the South, life depended on cotton and on enslaved people who picked it. 2 worlds, 2 economies, 2 moral codes. As the nation expanded westward, every new state raised the same explosive question: would it allow slavery or not? Every compromise only delayed the inevitable. Every debate drove the wedge deeper. The breaking point. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president, a man who opposed the spread of slavery but promised not to abolish it where it already existed. To the southern states, that wasn't enough. They saw his election as a threat to their way of life. Within months, 7 states, South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas, seceded from the Union. They formed the Confederate States of America, with Jefferson Davis as their president. 2 governments now claimed to be America, the spark at Fort Sumter. In Charleston Harbor stood Fort Sumter, a U.S. military post still held by Union troops. The Confederacy demanded its surrender. Lincoln refused. He sent a supply ship instead. No weapons, just food. Confederate forces, seeing it as an act of defiance, decided to act. At 4:30 a.m. on April 12th, cannons opened fire. Shells rained down on the fort for 34 straight hours. Smoke, thunder, and flame filled the harbor. Inside, Major Robert Anderson and his men held on, outnumbered, outgunned, and surrounded. Finally, they surrendered. No one died in the battle itself, but the war it unleashed would claim more lives than any in American history. A nation at war. When Lincoln heard the news, he issued a call for 75,000 volunteers to defend the Union. That one decision turned rebellion into full-scale war. In response, 4 more states, Virginia, Arkansas, North Carolina, and Tennessee, joined the Confederacy. The line was drawn, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor. The Civil War had begun. What it meant. Over the next 4 years, the war would tear the country apart, from Bull Run to Gettysburg, from Antietam to Appomattox. More than 600,000 Americans would die, more than in all U.S. wars before and after combined. But from that horror, a new nation would rise. One where slavery would finally end, and the meaning of freedom would expand, though painfully and never completely. When the smoke cleared, America would never be the same again. So yes, it started with one cannon, one echo across Charleston Harbor that split a country in 2. On that April morning in 1861, the United States stopped being united, and the fight to make it whole again began.